Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Friday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and Mary Ellen is playing double duty today. Had a chance to interview her for Conversations Live, the radio show, yesterday in today's Entertainment Spotlight. You've been part of my conversation with her today. Enjoy our program. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In national news, January 6th committee requests interview with Ivanka Trump. The House committee investigating the U.S. Capitol insurrection is asking Ivanka Trump, daughter of former President Donald Trump, to voluntarily cooperate as lawmakers make their first public attempt to arrange an interview with a Trump family member. The committee sent a letter on Thursday requesting a meeting in February with Ivanka Trump, a White House advisor to her father. In the letter, the committee chairman, Benny Thompson of Mississippi, said Ivanka Trump was in direct contact with her father during key moments on January 6, 2021, when Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in an effort to halt the congressional certification of Joe Biden's presidential win. The riot followed a rally near the White House where President Donald Trump at the time had urged his supporters to fight as Congress convened to certify the 2020 election results. The committee says it wants to discuss what Ivanka Trump knew about her father's efforts, including a telephone call they say she witnessed to pressure then Vice President Mike Pence to reject those results, as well as concerns she may have heard from Pence staff, members of Congress, and the White House counsel's office about those efforts. The committee cited testimony that Ivanka Trump implored her father to quell the violence by his supporters, and investigators want to ask about her actions while the insurrection was underway. Testimony obtained by the committee indicates that members of the White House staff requested your assistance on multiple occasions to intervene in an attempt to persuade President Trump to address the ongoing lawlessness and violence on Capitol Hill, Thompson wrote in his letter. The letter is the committee's first attempt to seek information from inside the Trump family. Earlier this week, it issued subpoenas to lawyer Rudy Giuliani and other members of Trump's legal team who filed meritless court challenges to the election that fueled the lie that the race had been stolen from Trump. In more national news, Biden issues new warning to Russia over invading Ukraine. U.S. President Joe Biden said Thursday that any Russian troop movements across Ukraine's border would constitute an invasion and that Moscow would pay a heavy price for such an action. It was the latest White House effort to clear up comments Biden made a day earlier when he suggested that a minor incursion by Russia into Ukrainian territory could result in a more measured response by the United States and allies. Facing an avalanche of criticism from Republican lawmakers and Ukrainian officials that Biden's comments had invited limited military action by the Russian President Vladimir Putin, Biden sought to clarify his remarks at the start of a meeting at the White House focused on domestic policy. In more national news, voting bill collapses, Democrats unable to change filibuster. Voting legislation that Democrats and civil rights leaders say is vital to protecting democracy collapsed when two senators refused to join their own party in changing Senate rules to overcome a Republican filibuster after a raw emotional debate. The outcome Wednesday night was a stinging defeat for President Joe Biden and his party, coming at the tumultuous close of his first year in office. Despite a day of piercing debate and speeches that often carried echoes of an earlier era, when the Senate filibuster was deployed by opponents of civil rights legislation, Democrats could not persuade holdout Senators Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin to change the Senate procedures on this one bill and allow a simple majority to advance it. I am profoundly disappointed, Biden said in a statement after the vote. However, the president said he is not deterred and vowed to explore every measure and use every tool at his disposal to stand up for democracy. In business news, U.S. home sales fall with available properties at a record low. Sales of previously occupied homes fell in December for the first time in 4 months, as many would-be buyers were frustrated by a lack of available houses, which fell to the lowest level in more than 2 decades. Existing home sales dropped 4% last month from November to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of nearly 6.2 million, the National Association of Realtors said on Thursday. The demand for homes remains healthy, the group said, with median prices jumping nearly 16% from a year ago to $358,000. Homes sold in an average of 19 days, slightly higher than in the summer, but still quite rapid. Yet the number of houses for sale slumped to just 910,000 in December, the fewest since records began in 1999. And finally, in more business news, U.S. job claims rise to 286,000, highest since October. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose to the highest level in 3 months as the fast-spreading Omicron variant continued to disrupt the job market. Jobless claims rose for the third straight week by 55,000 to 286,000, highest since mid-October, the Labor Department reported on Thursday. The jump in claims marked the biggest one-week increase since mid-July. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's on time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Sit with your sadness. I know the last thing anyone wants to hear when going through a period of great sadness is, you will learn something from this, or look at the bright side. In the midst of a tremendously painful situation, you really don't care about the bright side because the overwhelming feeling of pain you are feeling is too exhausting to even begin an examination of what is happening. You feel disappointed, angry, fearful, picked on by life, and let down by God. Sitting with sadness takes the courage to believe you can bear the pain and the faith to know you will come out on the other side. Courage and faith will allow you permission to grieve and walk through your sadness. After you sit with your sadness and experience it, understand the powerful teaching tool sadness has to offer. Now you can choose to surrender and accept the change you are going through. Today, feel your own sadness while you have compassion for others experiencing the same thing. And remember, enjoy your day.
Mary Ellen is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Author and motivational speaker Mary Ellen Ciganovich and the host of the segment Truth of the Day here on Conversations Daily News joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her amazing journey over the past decade. Here's a bit of our conversation.
I think a lot of times we don't think about the impact that we are having on others, right, through the things that we say and do. But what has it been like for you, Mary Ellen, over this past 10 years to think about the people you've been able to reach?
Well, it's been such a blessing, and actually a healing blessing for me, as well as I hope for others. It's just been, I know God wants me to write these words, and He continues to send them to me, and I praise that, and I know this is my purpose now and my passion for getting these words out there to inspire people. And it's just been, like I said, it's, as you heal yourself, you also heal others, and you can inspire them to heal themselves. And I don't mean of any kind of diagnosis. You don't have to have a diagnosis to be able to heal. You need to wake up to the awareness within yourself.
But let's dive into that a little bit. I love the wording you use there, Mary Ellen, because even in your book, you have a book that's called Healing Words. When did you realize the power of words and that words could not only hurt, but could also heal? When did you realize that for yourself?
Well, I knew that words could hurt when I was growing up. Every time my mom said that I wasn't wanted, and she tried to get rid of me, that hurt quite a bit. And so I always knew the power of words. Yet when you grow up with that negativity, even though you don't like it and you don't like what was happening in your house, you have to understand that that is what you learn. And you will carry that on into your next relationship unless you become aware of it, and you become aware of, not only aware of it, but aware of what to do to change it. How can you change that?
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News, but perhaps you guys on Monday with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.